we'll start the session shortly. Wait for a few more minutes for others to join.
Sure, Neha.
Hi, everyone. We'll be starting the session in just a minute. Okay. Hi, everyone. We should, I think, start with the session. I hope my screen is visible.
Yeah, it's visible.
All right. So, thanks for coming to the session. Welcome. I welcome all of you. So, I'll just give you an overview of the things that we're going to cover today. In this session, we'll start with a brief introduction to the tool ChatGPT, after which we'll be looking at the various use cases in different fields like consulting, marketing, analytics, which will be followed by learning how we can make our prompts better. Okay, so let's start. The title of the session is Fight It, Fear It, or Friend It, It is Here to Stay. This is about the artificial intelligence and the new buzzword that is ChatGPT. Now, ChatGPT is OpenAI's open chatbot that answers questions and prompts in a text format. Now, it is capable of having human-like conversation with you and give you answers for the various things you write prompts for. ChatGPT was released in 2022, is just one of the forms of generative AI. Its responses come from a transformer that is predicting what will happen next. By this, I mean it predicts what is the next word going to be, what is the next sentence, or the next paragraph. Now, the biggest advantage that it brings to the table is it lets a user interact with a robot. So, in ChatGPT, GPT stands for Generative Pre-trained Transformer, which is nothing but, in a layman's language, can be called a robot. So as you can see, this picture has been taken from Microsoft's research paper. On the left-hand side, you see how initially users would interact and modify the robot by using, various code languages. But today, it's the user who is interacting with the robot in the form of texts, like normal human language. So another interesting thing that you would like to know is ChatGPT took just 5 days to reach 1 million users, which, Instagram and Netflix took several months to. This graph has been taken from Statistica, and it highlights the fact that I've just pointed out. Now let's move on and see the various use cases of ChatGPT. So before we dive in to all the use cases, I would like to highlight a few things. Now, ChatGPT only has access to information till the 2021, till the September of 2021 and before. So it does not have access to information after that. Now, the quality of your output will be directly proportional to the quality of your input. And hence, it's vital to learn how to write better prompts. The third is that ChatGPT's responses are limited to text. That is, it cannot give you visuals, images, videos as an output, at least as of now. Now let's move on and see the various use cases. We'll start with a few basic ones. Then we'll move on to more detailed ones. And towards the end, I'll show you the different ways and the different pointers that you would want to keep in mind while you're writing your prompts. Let's start. So the first thing is it can summarize your articles. Today we really don't have the time to read long reports, 50, 60 pages reports that are released by McKinsey. And ChatGPT can actually do it for you. So here, if you see the icon N, that is my prompt. That is what I had given to ChatGPT as an input. So I asked it to summarize the link of the article in 2 paragraphs, which it did. Now, the advantage of ChatGPT is you can ask it to not only, for the output in not only 2 paragraphs, you can go hyper specific with that. You can ask it to give you output in terms of, in the form of bullet points with icons. Some of the examples we'll see as we go further in this session. The second use case is to translate articles. Now, initially what happened is we would go to Google Translate, then select the language of the input, then select the language for the output, copy our text, and then get our response. Now, because of the introduction of ChatGPT, this has become just a single-step solution, right? You just type in the paragraph or the sentence or the word that you want to get translated and the language that you want to get it translated into. For example, if you look at the slide, I have written a paragraph which I wanted to get it translated into French, and it did. Another interesting thing that I would like to point out here is that it identifies the language of your input without you having to specify what it is, which is very interesting. So, for example, if you look at this slide, I had given it an input in Hindi, which said, "Mujhe Excel ke courses kahan mil sakte hain?" And it gave me an output in Hindi. Now, I've nowhere specified the language of my input, right? Let's move on to the next case, and that is to translate articles. Now, it can not only translate articles in terms of language, it can also translate articles and make it grammatically better, right? So if you look at the input here, and the output, you see that it has changed the output and made it grammatically correct. And I highlighted the grammatically correct part in red, that is the sun's radiation. So in the input, if you see, the input said sun's radiation without the apostrophe, and ChatGPT has done it. The next part is creative writing. So many people seem to think that ChatGPT is actually just giving you information by, getting information from somewhere. Just like Google, it displays you with all the links that are available on the internet. However, ChatGPT is actually, you know, writing new content for you. So if you see here, my input was, it's my friend's birthday today, and her name is Neha. Write a short poem in 4 to 5 lines. So I have specified the number of lines that I wanted the output in. Also, I've specified how I wanted the output. Like, I wanted the output in a sentence. Now, the sentence, each sentence must start with the letters NEHA in the same order. So, like I highlighted before, the quality of your output will depend on the quality of your input. So, you need to be hyper specific in order to get the output that you really require. And so if you look at the output, it gave me a poem in the form of, in the form I wanted it to be. That is, all the sentences in this poem start with the letters in the same order I had specified it. Now, the next part is preparing outlines and presentation topics. So, this session that I'm conducting, I have prepared the outline for this session on ChatGPT. And this is something that you can do as well. Creating presentations is something that we do on a almost on an everyday basis. And I am an MBA student. So for me, it is a very frequent task to create presentations. Now, when we are creating presentations, thinking of what would be an interesting topic. By topic, I mean there is a topic that your cover page starts from, right? And it should be intriguing and it should attract the attention of the user. But how do you write it? So let's ask the ChatGPT to write it. I'll do it in front of you. Okay, I hope my screen is visible. Okay, so say you want to create a presentation on artificial intelligence and you cannot think of a topic, right? So let's ask ChatGPT for it. So let's say I have to create a presentation on the advantages of artificial intelligence. Give me So I've asked it to give me a title in less than 10 words on the advantages of artificial intelligence. So yeah, So I've got the topic, the title for my presentation, that is Transforming Tomorrow, Unleashing AI's Revolutionary Advantages. Now, maybe you're not satisfied with the topic, right? So we can ask it for more. So if you keep customizing your prompts, it will accordingly change the output that it is generating for you. Let's get back to the PPT. Now let's look at this very interesting field of consulting. Now, in consulting, the biggest problem that we face, one faces if you want to get into consulting or as a consultant, is to first read the case, and the second is to understand the case, and third is to find an approach to solve it. So, if you are given a case and you want to understand the summary of the case, now ChatGPT can do it for you. Let me show you how. So, this is the case study of Mintra that I had got from my professor. And since it was a long case study and I got it at night, I just wanted a quick summary, a quick gist of what this case was about. So I asked ChatGPT to summarize the case for me in just 5 points. All right, you see how big the case is, right? And it did. The next question and the next, important thing that one wants to do while solving a case is to understand the problem statement. There is because the key to solving the case is to identify what the main problem statement is, right? And it's really hard to do. So I asked ChatGPT to do it for me. I asked it, what is the main problem statement of this case? And it gave me the main problem statement. And it said that the main problem statement of this case is that despite having higher gross margins and multiple strategies to increase profits, uh, fashion e-commerce companies have been unable to achieve sustained profitability over the years, which is extremely easy to comprehend, right? But now, so it pointed out that fashion e-commerce companies, are unable to achieve sustained profitability. And maybe you don't know what sustained profitability is. So I asked ChatGPT, what do you mean by sustained profitability? And it gave me the answer to that. Now, this case, in the first look, I had identified that there are a few financials, even though I didn't go through the financials. So, while solving a case, you also want to see the numbers, right? How much has the profitability decreased? Or what have been the numbers? Has it decreased only marginally or drastically? And to do that and to extract that information, I asked ChatGPT how the numbers look like. And it extracted that particular part of the case for me. Then the last step is to find an approach to solve the case study, right? And it takes a lot of brainstorming to do that. And I just asked this tool, and it gave me a comprehensive point by point approach on how I should systematically solve the case study. Now, consulting is all about structured thinking, right? And it gives you answers in that structure. Now, MECE approach is another thing that is very, very commonly used in management consulting. So I asked it to give me the solution to the case following the MECE principle. So MECE stands for mutually exclusive, collectively exhaustive, and it did it. It gave me the different analysis that I required to solve my case. That is, the different segments that I would have to analyze in order to solve my case. Now, I did ask for the financials of Myntra, but it did not have access to it. Now, there are certain limitations to the tool, and this is something that I highlighted even in the starting of the presentation, but it's learning, right? Now, this is another thing that I would like to highlight to you. It doesn't just give you information. It gives you information in the kind of format you want it. By that, I don't mean, text versus visual versus video. I mean, in the term, I mean it in the format of a table, right? It's so easy to understand when things are divided into small boxes in the form of a table. And I asked for it, for the approach to solve the case in the format of a table, and it did it for me. Also, another thing that you should notice is that it has highlighted the framework strategies as well. Now, this was an approach to solving a case study. Now, if I were to say that, if you are probably the CEO of a company and you are facing an issue, you can just go to ChatGPT and ask for it. Let's try that right now. So, let's see. I am the CEO of a dental company. Just a second. And I have 25 offices across Canada. Give me a comprehensive cybersecurity plan and contact the right vendors to make it happen. Let's see what ChatGPT gives us. So it has given me a comprehensive cybersecurity plan in just a few seconds. But, okay, so it has not given me the name of the vendors, or according to my prompt, I had asked it to contact the right vendors, which it cannot do. So let me ask, can you name the relevant vendors that I should contact to make this happen? Okay, let's see. You see how amazing this is? It has actually given me not only the names of the vendors, it has also given me the links to their websites so that it's easy for me to contact them. So first a company would probably pay McKinsey to do it. And I am not saying that this is as good as what McKinsey does, but we know that this tool is getting better because this tool works on an algorithm which is, continuously improving with all the input that it gets from users like you and me. So it will get there, hopefully. Let's get back to our PPT. We have looked at how you can solve a case, reach to the conclusions, get a structured approach to your conclusion using ChatGPT. Now, you can also we just saw, it gives you the links to the articles. Now, another thing that I wanted to highlight was that, just a second. Yeah. So we've got like a bunch of links, right? But we don't know who we should be starting with in terms of who is the most relevant vendor that we must contact first. We can ask that to ChatGPT as well. Okay, so let's see. Um, right. Arrange priority. Let's correct the spellings. Okay. Right. So you see how important it is to customize your prompts to get better replies. I mean, if you are going to ask ChatGPT with a very generic prompt, it is going to obviously give you a very generic answer. You must have come across the phrase called garbage in, garbage out. So that is sort of what you can implement here. Now it has actually, given me links in terms of relevance and priority on who I should be contacting first. Okay. So we've looked at the main, aspect that ChatGPT can solve in management consulting. That if you look at the point 8 and 9, ChatGPT plus PowerPoint and data analysis and plus consulting. So consulting isn't just about doing the secondary research or, I mean, yes, majorly it is about coming up with solutions. But today, since most of the companies are turning digital, they have a lot of data. And consultants today are also required to analyze that data. And this is also a field where ChatGPT has tremendously made a difference. Let's see how. So let me share with you a data set. So this is a data set of an organization uh, that has been shared by the HR. So this contains all the information about the employees. Now, if I were a consultant and this data set would have been provided to me, I would probably be perplexed at first, right? As to where do I start the analysis from? And that is where ChatGPT comes into play. If we copy all the names and then go back to ChatGPT, and say, I have a data set and with the following column names. You give it all the column names. Okay. Tell me all the factors that I can analyze based on this data set. So it has given me all the factors that I can probably start my analysis with. And that's amazing and tremendously helpful because I think it's much better than looking at a whole bunch of data set and feeling confused where to start from, right? Let's go back to our PPT. The next field that we're going to look into is the field of marketing. Now, marketing is all about attracting the attention of the consumer, right? And now, customer acquisition is one of the biggest costs for companies. And ChatGPT has has the power to bring that cost down. And let's see how. So, to create, marketing strategies and plans, people, companies, give it out to other parties, right? And now you can actually sit at home and make your strategies, marketing strategies. So if you look at the screen, so I have asked ChatGPT for a Facebook ad for my online course, which is on digital marketing. And I have asked it to make the ad persuasive, funny, and conversational. Please take note of how you should be writing the prompts in terms of, for example, in this prompt, you see that the tone matters, right? So when, as a company, I am speaking to the customers via my ads and my uh, content on the social media, the tone really matters, and hence I made a note of it and asked ChatGPT to write it in a particular tone. Then I've asked it to highlight the importance of having solid marketing strategy to grow a business. That is the topic that I wanted to write on, right? And I got the answer to it. In fact, if you note, it has also attached small emojis in the output, which again helps attract the attention of the customer. Now, since as I had highlighted before, that ChatGPT can only give you text-based outputs. So you would probably want to check out a different website for images. And one such website is DAL-E. This has also been created by OpenAI, and it gives you images and different visuals based on a text-based prompt. So I'll just take a minute to show you the kind of responses or the kind of outputs people have got. I would have shown it to you hands-on, but unfortunately, this is a subscription-based model, and I did not have, subscription-based website, and I did not have the subscription, or I don't have it yet. So I've taken pictures from the website itself. So if you can see, it is able to give you outputs and produce images based on your prompt. So however detailed your prompt is, exactly your image is going to be exactly like that. Now, these are a little on the simpler side. If you look at these images, they're highly customized, right? For example, if you look at the second one, a cube made of porcupine, a cube with the texture of a porcupine. That's really detailed, but it has done it, right? Now, data analysis, codes and formula. Now, writing codes and formula is, considered really difficult because initially people had Stack Overflow, but even in Stack Overflow, you would have to actually type in a question and then go through various links and answers written by people and then check if that particular formula or code is working in yours or not. Now, ChatGPT has actually made it hassle-free for you, right? So, here are the screenshots of a few prompts that I had given to ChatGPT. Now, I would have actually done it and shown it to you, but because of the scarcity of time, I will just give you a gist of what I'm talking about. This meeting will end in a few minutes, and I will obviously be sharing the PPT as well as links to various resources, good articles that I had come across while doing my research for making this PPT. And I'll be sending it to all of you via mail. So yeah, without further ado, let's see the data analysis, how ChatGPT has transformed data analysis. Now, I am just covering the the Excel and Power BI aspect of this because that is the two tools that I increasingly work on. Yeah, just wanted to point that out. So yeah, if you look at the first point prompt, I have said that I have a column named the DOB, that is the date of birth, which I have also specified, which has the date of birth of employees, and I want to calculate the age. Now, how to do that on Power BI, right? The second is write a DAX formula. So DAX is something that is used on Power BI to write formulas in, and assign values 1 to 3 to low, medium, and high. These values. So I've also, specified what these values talk about. If you look at the last prompt, it is the same as I had shown you before. That is, what can I analyze using this data? Let's move on to the next slide. So the last few slides, that is the last 4 slides, have prompts which are hyper-specific and would probably be helpful to you when you are writing your prompts. You will get access to these prompts when I share, as I share my PPT with you, and these prompts are obviously editable, so you can use it for your for writing your prompts better. Let me know if these prompts worked out for you and how they worked out for you. I would love to know if I would love to create more such prompts if you want me to. The session ends in less than 1 minute. So I would like to thank all of you for coming to my session. I'll just quickly give you a summary of what we have covered. We initially, in the starting, we saw what ChatGPT is and how it works on and how it is generating responses. Then we looked at the various use cases of ChatGPT, for example, summarizing articles, translating articles, creating outlines for sessions, how it can be used in consulting, in marketing, in data analysis. And then we are ending it with learning how to write our prompts better. So thank you all. I am open to reviews. Please let me know how you liked the session. And that's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Neha.
Thank you, Anshul. Thank you, Raghavendra, for joining.
Thanks, Neha. Thanks a lot.
Thank you for joining.